You are free beings, utterly unlimited, just as God intended. November 5, 2016. Humanity's awakening is proceeding apace. Keep on holding and renewing the intent for it to occur, because it is you, humanity, who are doing the waking. God has not set an alarm clock to rouse you from your dreams, because that would be interfering with your free will choice. However, I assure you that He will be there. In fact, all in the spiritual realms will be there to greet and honor you with an absolute abundance of love, as we commence the celebrations that are due to start immediately when you awaken. The excited enthusiasm and anticipation that we are presently experiencing is boundless, because we can clearly visualize your astonished amazement and stunned delight as you wake up. It will not be the sort of groggy eye-rubbing awakening to which many of you have become accustomed as humans. Instead, you will awaken into yourself, the real you, and find yourselves vitally alive and filled with and enveloped within the field of boundless love that is you and God. You can in no way imagine or conceive of the intense joy that waits to utterly suffuse you as you come home into the awe-inspiring presence that is God. As you have been told so often, there is only one you. Each and every one of you, every single element of consciousness, are united in oneness with Source, God, the supreme and infinitely wise intelligence in which all sentient life resides, eternally and in utter joy, fully aware, and fully awake. God is. Every sentient life force, energy field, awareness, conscious entity is within the creative field that is God. There is only the one. Your sensed or experience of separation is unreal, an imaginary state that allows you to experience a state of being that could never be. The life force, the energy field, the sentiency in which consciousness expresses itself is Source. There is nowhere else, although, within the dream world in which humanity appears to live, it seems that you can observe vast universes out there. However, all is within. There is no out there. Consciousness, life, existence, as humans experience it, is truly an inner state projected outwards to enable form to be felt, sensed and experienced. The illusion is but a collective projection that you have chosen to believe in, and, to make it realistic, forms were developed, mountains, deserts, rivers, oceans, planets, stars, galaxies, etc., to give it substance, to give it a physical reality, and out there, that was convincing. And it remains extremely convincing while you continue to believe that it is real. To awaken is to realize that you have been asleep, seemingly for eons, and to realize that you never left your source. Consequently, that realization will fill you with joy, because reality, into which you will awaken, is eternal joy, joy unceasing, an amazing eternal experience of utterly carefree joy, the like of which you have never even dreamed. Your ability to conceive ideas or concepts, to imagine worlds of benign magnificence in which you are completely free to experience your unlimited creative potential that brings only further joy, is unimaginable when you are occupying physical bodies with all the limitations in which they, by your collective choice, appear to ensnare you. You are free beings, utterly unlimited, just as God intended, and just as He created you. However, just for the fun of it, you constructed an unreal environment of seemingly immense proportions in which to play games of separation. Then, almost immediately, because you used your immense divine powers in its construction, you found yourselves seemingly lost and alone within it. You, now tiny, insignificant, and fragile beings, found yourselves in human form, a form made of flesh that was weak and insubstantial. That form required a constant supply of clean air, pure water, and nourishing food, as well as some kind of covering to protect you from the extremes of climate, and shelter to protect you from the harsher elements of that environment. The environment, the illusory environment in which you are experiencing life as humans, is hostile, not just to humans, but to all physical life forms, because that is how you intended it to be. You wanted to prove that you had no need of God, your source. He gave you everything that He had when He created you, so that you would be eternally happy and joy-filled. However, having free will, You wanted to use it to prove that you were independent, that you had no requirement for God and for the environment that is God. You knew that separation from that, your natural and divine state, was impossible. But you also knew that with the immense powers that He had bestowed upon you at the moment of creation, you could construct an unreal but seemingly very real environment in which to play games of separation. And that is what you did. Its apparent reality was amazing, and in your enthusiasm to enter into it and play those games, you chose to forget or draw a veil over your knowledge of your inseparable oneness with God, and quickly found yourselves apparently alone, abandoned, and in great danger in an intensely hostile environment. Over the timeless eons, many wise and holy ones have visited you and attempted to encourage you to wake up, leave your games behind, and come home, that is awaken, to reality. They could see your pain and suffering, and they wanted to assist you to awaken, but you were not yet ready to allow the illusion to dissolve. After all, you were proud of what you had built, and you believed you could have dominion over it. Now it has become apparent that the limitations you imposed upon yourselves, both physical and intellectual, would never be powerful enough to dominate and control the environment you had constructed. You had constructed it with your divine powers before you entered into it. Within it, the limits you had chosen to place upon yourselves ensured that alone, you could never truly dominate it. You might succeed in destroying the part in which you had chosen to play your games, but then what would you do? Visit another part and do the same? Therefore you chose collectively to awaken, and let it dissolve into the void from which you had drawn the materials to build it. That is what is occurring now, as your industrial conglomerates accelerate their destructive activities all across the planet, and your human organizations engage in ever-bitter conflicts of an intensely egotistical nature. The social, political, business, and religious systems that you built and developed over the eons are no longer practical. They are filled with conflicting views and opinions whose proponents and advocates refuse to listen to one another, but, instead, shout one another down in an explosion of meaningless rhetoric. It truly is time you awakened. So, as we keep reminding you, you, who are reading or listening to this or to other channeled material, chose to be embodied as humans at this moment to assist in the awakening process. The most effective way in which you can assist in this process is to go within daily, to your holy inner sanctuaries, where the light of God's love, and therefore, of your love, burns continuously, and intend to be love in action, to be loving in every moment, and in every interaction with others. You are love. All that is required of you is that you be yourselves, free of all egoic masks and disguises, and that you allow the light of divine love that is your true nature to blaze forth into the world and intensify and accelerate humanity's awakening process. Your awakening is imminent. With so very much love, Saul. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman.wordpress.com